Eddie Morra walks through the crowded streets of New York. His eyes look tired and defeated. Once, he dreamed of becoming a famous writer. Now, he can barely write a single sentence. His unfinished novel sits on his laptop, mocking him every day. Bills pile up on his kitchen table. His apartment is messy and dark. Empty beer bottles cover the floor. Eddie knows his life is falling apart. His girlfriend Lindy arrives with serious news. She's tired of supporting him emotionally and financially. Eddie promises things will change, but she has heard that promise too many times. She quietly breaks up with him and walks away. Eddie stands alone in the street. His life has officially hit rock bottom. Days later, Eddie bumps into Vernon, his ex-wife's brother. Vernon used to be a small-time drug dealer, but today he looks completely different. He's confident, sharp, and strangely successful. They sit together inside a small cafe. Vernon listens to Eddie complain about his failed career. Then he smiles and pulls out a small clear pill. He calls it NZT48. Vernon claims the pill unlocks the full potential of the human brain. Instead of using 20% of the brain, it uses 100%. It sounds like science fiction, but with nothing left to lose. Eddie swallows the pill. Minutes later, the world suddenly changes. The rain outside becomes crystal clear. Every sound grows sharper. Every memory in Eddie's life becomes instantly accessible. Information begins connecting inside his mind like lightning. Languages, memories, patterns, and ideas merge together perfectly. Eddie sits at his messy desk, but now he sees everything differently. Every object in the room reminds him of a story idea. His fingers begin flying across the keyboard. His mind is finally alive. The next morning, the effects of NZT fade away. Eddie wakes up confused and exhausted. But he remembers exactly what the pill did. He rushes back to Vernon's apartment, desperate for more. But when he arrives, something is wrong. The door is open. The apartment is destroyed. Vernon lies dead on the floor. Someone has murdered him. Police sirens echo in the distance. Panicked, Eddie searches the apartment quickly. Inside the kitchen, he finds a hidden supply of NZT pills. Eddie now holds the most powerful drug in the world. With regular doses of NZT, Eddie's life transforms completely. He cleans his filthy apartment in minutes. He studies fashion and body language online. Within days, he changes his entire appearance. His messy hair becomes sharp and stylish. His clothes become expensive and elegant. His confidence becomes magnetic. People begin noticing him everywhere. Women smile at him. Strangers listen carefully when he speaks. Every conversation becomes an opportunity. Eddie is no longer invisible. He has become extraordinary. Eddie decides to test his new intelligence in the stock market. Inside a busy trading office, he studies endless streams of numbers. Normally, the information would overwhelm anyone, but with NZT, patterns appear instantly. Market movements feel like a puzzle he can solve in seconds. Eddie makes his first trade, then another, then dozens more. Within hours, he turns a small amount of money into thousands of dollars. By the end of the week, Eddie is making millions. But money attracts attention, and powerful people begin noticing the mysterious genius rising in Wall Street. One of those people is billionaire investor Carl Van Loon. Van Loon invites Eddie to a private meeting in a luxurious skyscraper. He studies Eddie carefully during their conversation. This young writer suddenly understands global economics better than experts. Van Loon is impressed. He offers Eddie an incredible opportunity. Help him complete the largest corporate merger in history. If the deal succeeds, they will both become even richer. Eddie accepts the challenge without hesitation. His mind is running faster than ever. But the power of NZT is beginning to show darker side effects. Late at night, Eddie suddenly loses consciousness. When he wakes up hours later, he has no memory of what happened. He wakes up standing over a dead body. A woman lies lifeless on the floor of his apartment. There is blood everywhere. Eddie has no memory of killing her. Police sirens approach the building. Terrified, Eddie quickly hides the evidence and escapes. His heart races with fear. The drug that made him brilliant may also be turning him into a killer. Meanwhile, a violent Russian gangster named Gennady begins following Eddie. Gennady once stole one of Eddie's pills during a street accident. After experiencing the power of NZT himself, he wants more. He becomes obsessed with finding Eddie. Is suddenly wealthy and powerful. She confronts him directly. Eddie finally tells her about NZT. At first, she refuses to believe it. But when danger begins surrounding Eddie, Lindy takes a pill herself. Within minutes, her mind becomes razor sharp. She quickly realizes how addictive and dangerous the drug truly is. Using his last hidden dose of NZT, Eddie prepares a trap. His mind calculates every possibility. When Gennady returns for more information, Eddie is ready. The confrontation turns violent. A gunshot echoes through the apartment. When the smoke clears, Gennady lies dead on the floor. Eddie survives, but the supply of NZT is nearly gone. The drug is destroying Eddie's body. Doctors warn him about severe brain damage. Other NZT users are dying. Eddie realizes the truth. The pill that made him brilliant will eventually kill him. But Eddie refuses to lose everything he built. So he makes a dangerous decision. Instead of relying on the drug, he will evolve beyond it. Scene 15. The final twist. Months later, Eddie meets Carl Van Loon again. Van Loon confronts him with shocking news. He has acquired the formula for NZT, and he wants Eddie to work for him permanently. But Eddie calmly smiles. He reveals something unbelievable. He no longer needs the pill. Over time, he trained his brain to operate at full capacity permanently. The power of NZT is now part of him forever. Van Loon realizes too late. Eddie is no longer a pawn. He is now one of the most powerful men in the world.